Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present the gold standard of Northeast Ohio, the Lord G. Harding Raider Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our school alma mater, the gold and white.
Good evening. I'm Steve Shiro, Superintendent of the Warren City Schools. We officially have broken ground for the new Recreation and Wellness Center being built here at Warren G. Harding High School. Our students are going to benefit from many amenities in this new facility, including, but not limited to, a student-run bistro, dedicated robotics area, an esports area, 2 sets of academic stairs. There'll be a 6-lane indoor running track, a 3-lane walking track, and a large open floor multi-use space for all of our sports programs to use throughout the year. When completed, Mollenkoff Stadium will have a brand new marching band shell and locker room. We know this investment is needed and worth it for our high school students, and will reflect on the opportunities that our children in the Warren City Schools will see at the college or university level. We want to thank you again for being with us tonight at Mollenkoff Stadium, and as always, go Raiders.
He's got a man over the middle, and that ball's complete for a touchdown, Raider! He throws it downfield down the sideline, and it's caught for a big gain for the Raiders! And there's a big hit in the backfield for a loss. Takes it in, touchdown, Warren Harding! He's got a man open in the end zone! Touchdown, Raiders!
Good evening, Warren, Ohio. It's homecoming at Mollenkoff, week 6 of the 2022 high school football season. And finally, a little football weather. The temperatures dip, going to get down maybe into the 40s by the end of this one tonight. Good evening, everybody. Tom Bird on hand, as always, along with Eddie Colbert. And tonight, your Harding Raiders play host to the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish. Eddie, Raiders trying to get back on track. Tough start to the season. Doesn't get a whole lot easier with the Fighting Irish from St. Vincent St. Mary's coming in.
No, coming in, I believe, at a 4-1 record. Good showing thus far. They're going to want to keep it moving as they move forward, looking towards those playoffs. Raiders right now going to bring some, they're going to bring, there's got to be a sense of urgency. I mean, last week, a strong fought game with that celebration of the 50th anniversary of the 72 championship team. Came out, really strong in the beginning. You saw a lot of guys flying to the ball, just in the end weren't able to put together the complete game in order to bring home that W. So not going to get any easier this week versus a strong Akron St. Vincent's team. But you look to see a lot of fight here in these players. As we talked about before, a lot of sophomores getting to play this year. Just looking forward to getting them that experience for the upcoming years.
Raiders played the Irish of Ursuline back-to-back weeks against the Fighting Irish. Last week it was Youngstown Ursuline. Raiders played them hard. They had just a few costly errors, a fumble out of the end zone, an interception on a man that should have been open in the end zone in the second half, a couple untimely mistakes, but Harding was in that game last week. They look to stay in this one this week.
No, absolutely. You go back every game, you can point to a couple things here or there. I think we talked about 3 plays that really, broke that game for the Raiders. And so they look to they look to take care of some of these mistakes.
10 at their own 24-yard line, 25 call it.
Watch this Raider defense to start. We'll see what happens in the first possession. Obviously, the Raiders have done their best when they've been able to get pressure with those front four and been able to keep the linebackers back. We'll see what they can do against a much smaller offensive line than they faced last week with that Ursuline huge offensive line. We'll see if they can establish right from the beginning, be able to get some pressure, get some push into the backfield with just strictly rushing those front four.
Quarterback for the Irish, number 17, Gabe Mansell. Sophomore back there directing this Irish offense. And he gives it off to, looks like Jason Anderson for about a 4-yard gain off a first down.
D'Anthony Kelker, the ball carrier.
Sorry, that's number 2, D'Anthony Kelker.
Brings up second down at 6.
As always, keep an eye on the right defensive end. Nye Coleman, he's been a problem for a lot of these offenses, being able maybe a little undersized for the defensive line, but he uses that quickness to be able to beat those tackles.
Kelker lines up, and there's a
There
fumble,
it is.
and that is picked up by the Raiders, and that looks like number 16, Coleman. He takes it in. Touchdown, Raiders off the fumble.
On cue, you saw him get in the backfield quick, be able to take advantage of that bobbled snap. Exactly how the Raiders wanted to get started.
Nice here. Coleman scoops up the loose ball, runs it in from 25 yards out, and it's 6-0 Harding.
You know, we've seen all year, we see a lot of this, a lot of quarterbacks now at the high school level as well as college and pro going from that shotgun, but we've seen a lot of problems, whether they're floaters, whether they're balls that are on the ground, and the Raiders at that time were able to get that pressure in there, pick that up for a scoop and score, and take the early lead here in the first quarter.
Jake Doherty on to attempt the extra point. Drew McCowan, backup quarterback, in on the hold, low snap, he scoops it up, and Jake knocks it through, and it is a little bit wide, sorry about that, hard, tough view from up here once in a while. Hooked that a little bit to the left, but it is 6-0 Harding.
Yeah, you want to take this momentum and move it forward. Defense is going to find themselves right back out there on the field. We talk about all the time the 3 aspects of football being offense, defense, and special teams. The Raiders this year surprisingly have struggled on the special teams, whether it's some blocked punts or some blocked extra points. And as you saw there, that missed extra point, we'll see if that comes back to hurt them later in the game, missing out on that extra point.
Kelker and Hobson back once again for the Irish.
On the kick again for the Raiders, number 12, Jake Doherty.
Jake Doherty on the kick for the Raiders once again.
Yeah, strong kick by Doherty, just a junior this year. We've been watching him since his freshman year, able to put that high kick down to the 5-yard line on his initial kickoff, allowing the kickoff team to get down there with pretty good coverage.
And trying a little pooch kick into that open area. That ball's passing, and it is loose. Finally picked up, and the ball carrier is brought down at the 30-yard line. That was number 31, Blake Kane, able to come up with that. And the Irish will have a 1st and 10 at their own 30 for their second possession of the evening.
You know, Tom, there's no denying it's been a tough going for the Raiders thus far this year, representative of the 1-4 record. And so you see the coaching staff trying to switch some things up here early with that. You know, Jake kicks a nice long deep kick to start off. That time found that soft middle there. You saw it took a good bounce for him and even bounced off a couple of those upmen's hands. Just weren't able to get on it and recover it. Going to give them pretty decent field position. So looking for that Raiders defense to come out here tough.
Kelker lines up to Mansell's right. It's 1st and 10 at the 30. There's a man in motion. That's Anderson in motion. The handoff is to Kelker. Kelker's hitting the backfield for a 1-yard loss.
D'Anthony Kelker there, perfect example there, what the coaches teach you, getting off your block, getting that penetration, getting off his block and making the tackle in the backfield for a loss of 1.
That was 61, Tamari Jackson getting in there.
Nope.
The Irish send 3 receivers to the right. It's 2nd down and 11 back at the 29-yard line. Mansell with a quick pass out to the right. And he'll get ahead for about 6 or 7 out to the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Tom, kind of reminiscent of the offense that we saw last week with the Ursuline Irish, where they put those the trips or the twins out to the far side and hit those screen passes. Those screen passes basically used as long sweeps. We'll see if this week the Raiders bring up that safety when they see that, to try to give themselves a little better numbers on that play.
And Mansell drops back once again. He's looking, can't find anybody open. He's got to tuck it and run and throw it out of bounds. That's going to be a 4th down and 4. Mansell had to get rid of that to avoid the sack. Couldn't find anybody open downfield on that play.
No, that's a coverage sack there. We talked about the youth in the defensive backfield there. I believe we only have one senior and Devin Boss back there. Looked like, I believe the rest of them may be sophomores, but all year they've held their own. But that starts with those front 4. Corners can't cover all day. So you need those front 4 to get that penetration, to give those cornerbacks a chance to be able to cover those receivers up. That time, a coverage sack, great opportunity for the Raiders.
Dallas Jet was back on that punt. They didn't put it anywhere near him. It takes a Raider bounce, and the Raiders are going to get their first offensive possession with very nice field position at their own 36-yard line.
Raiders going to come out with pretty good field position, as we talked about. You know, this offense goes as Dallas Jet goes. He's been able to do it with his arm. He's been able to do it with his legs. We really looked, though, to see how they establish this running game. We saw a couple different running backs in last week, kind of giving a different look there with Ryan Powell. But we'll see how they decide to come out. I really expect their coaching staff to try to take control of that line of scrimmage, use some of those backs to pound forward and really wear down this undersized defensive line, and it'll pay dividends later in the 4th quarter.
And right now we're starting off with both Javonte Jones and Ryan Powell in the backfield. And it's going to be Javonte Jones trying to get behind Powell. Javonte Jones around the corner. Jones to the edge. Jones down the sideline all the way into Irish territory. Big run on 1st down for Javonte Jones.
Javonte Jones, a junior, coming in at 6 foot 170. Lead blocker Ryan Powell there out in front of him, really springing that run up the sideline for him. Exactly what you want to see from the Raiders starting out on their first offensive possession.
Had both those backs in there using the big Ryan Powell as a blocker, and he cleared the way around that left end for Jones, and it is 1st and 10 Raiders out to the 46-yard line. It's Jones in that tailback position. Powell sets up to the right, and this time the handoff is to Powell up the middle. And he's going to get no gain. He's going to get stood up the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. We're at the 9-minute mark of the 1st quarter. And again, the Raiders up early, 6-0 on that fumble recovery and touchdown run by Nizier Coleman.
Yeah, it looks like the Raiders are coming out with a little bit of thunder and lightning here with 22 Ryan Powell, as well as having Javonte Jones in the backfield. It's going to give that defense a much different look, and especially with them being able to get Ryan Powell out in front. You pull one of those tackles, you've got almost a student body going up the sidelines.
2nd down and 10, and they give us again to Jones. He's trying to get around Powell. Jones gets about 5 or 6. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4. So a nice 2nd down run by Javonte Jones, and Powell doing a pretty nice job clearing the road for him.
Yeah, once again, Powell out front leading the way for Jones. You know, that's something right there that the coaches and honestly the coaches on the next level want to see. It's one thing for you to be able to get out there and run with the ball. They want to see that you're a complete player. They want to be able to see that not only do you have the capability of blocking, but that you have the willingness to block.
And again, that's Jones is the deep back. Powell's going to set up just to Dallas Jet's right. There are 2 receivers down here on the near side. And this time Jet rolls out and just misses the outstretched arms of Ryan Powell.
Not sure that pass looked like it might have been tipped there. He had a lot of pressure up in his face there. I thought he was going to try to continue to roll that out, but he saw his receiver early, try to hit him. But a little bit of interference is going to bring up that 4th and 4.
Jake Doherty on to do the punting. And the Irish will send Kelker and Hobson.
And there's a fake.
And that punt is faked, and he's going to be brought down, not quite going to make it, trying to have Javonte Jones get the first down. Not quite enough yards. Raiders going to turn the ball over on downs, and the Irish are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Raiders coming in with the 4-1 record. I had a sneaky suspicion you might see a little trickery there. Unfortunately, the Irish had the same feeling there, was able to stop them before the yard to gain. Going to give them pretty good field position and ask this defense to step up once again.
First and 10 Irish at their own 48-yard line. They've got two receivers up on top. And there's a handoff up the middle. And that looked like number 6, Connor Jones. Sorry, number 5, Santino Harper. Big run on first down for the Irish. Takes it all the way down to the Raider 36-yard line. We're going to be first and 10. And that's Harper again out around the right end. Harper with good yardage there. 7 yards, brings up a second down and 3, down to the Raider 30.
You know, you saw the quick play there by the Irish. We've seen that out of a few teams. Nothing as fast as we saw Hudson running, but we see a lot of this now where it's that quick-paced offense, basically trying to get you tired early, keep your original starters on the field, not allowing you to make that substitution and try to catch you off guard. Ball start looked like on the left guard there, the Irish. Looks like he's giving him a sideline warning. Thought I saw a little bit of movement on that left side of the line.
Procedure against the Irish.
No, they did.
Still procedure, but he's pointing out that he wants those coaches and players back a little bit, but the Irish did. Little false start there. It's going to move the ball back. Second down and 9.
Balls into Harding, 35-yard line.
Second down and 9 for the Irish at the Raider 35. Coming up on 6.5 minutes left to play in this first quarter. That pass is complete to Jason Anderson. He gets a couple out to about the 32.
Nice play by the defense there. Open field tackle, able to hold up the receiver there for the rest of the defense to come over and make the gang tackle in that strip at the end, but it was after his forward progress it stopped.
Third and 6 for the Irish at the Raider 32-yard line. There's a handoff to Harper up the middle. Harper's not going to get enough of that first down. Gets about 3 down inside the 30. That's going to bring up a fourth down, and I'm pretty certain that the Irish are in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw in that play a lot of penetration by that front four of the Raider defense. That's what we want to see all night. Just get some pressure, get in the backfield, make those running backs make cuts when they don't want to, and make the quarterback release the ball before he wants to.
Fourth down and 3 for the Irish. Mansell checking over to the sideline, make sure he got the right play in here. Irish trying to hang on to the ball here. Drops back, looks over the middle, and he finds number 11, Sir Charles Gordon, and that's good for an Irish first down.
Yeah, able to find that 3-step drop, quick hitter there for the first down. Going to move the change for the Irish here inside the 20 early midway through here in the first quarter.
Sir Charles Gordon, another big receiver. We face a lot of big receivers this year.
Yeah, they've got Charles. He's listed at 6'3" out there.
First and 10 Irish at the Raider 19-yard line, and there's the handoff to Harper. Harper trying to get out around that right end. He gets around the right end. He's inside the 10, and Santino Harper is going to take it in from 19 yards out, and this game is tied at 6.
Santino able to get outside on that corner there. As you see, defensive end was locked up with that big 72 out there, wasn't able to set the edge, allowed that running back to get outside the corner there. At that point, it's just a race to the end zone.
Looks like number 35, Nick Bertolini, who will come in to do the point after attempt. And that kick is up and good, and the extra point gives the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish a 7-6 lead with 4:15 to go in this first quarter.
You know, obviously, not a time to panic. Raiders, you know, they tried the fake punt, ended up giving the Irish great field position there around the 50-yard line, a couple good runs, was able to get them to the end zone, and a big fourth down conversion there to the big receiver out to the left-hand side. Right now, you just keep on doing what you're doing. The running game has been working. You can get that defense to start committing to the running game, and then let Dallas Jet get out on those corners, pressure the defense, make them make decisions, and use that athletic ability to move the ball upfield.
Bertolini on to kick for the Irish. Looks like Raylan Weaver and Devin Boss are back deep for the Raiders.
Deep for the Raiders, number 20, Raylan Adams, and number 5, Javonte Jones.
Check that. Number 5, Javonte Jones is back deep. And that's a low bouncing kick taken by one of the up men around the 27-yard line. Gets it outside the 40, so the Raiders are going to start about their 42-yard line, so good field position for the Raider offense.
Yeah, nice field position there. We talk about, you know, the weapons that this Raider team does have. We've seen several times during the year where the opposing team, if they don't have a kicker that can make it to the end zone, they'd rather kick it to some of those up men because they don't want to give some of those dynamic return men that open field opportunity to be able to put 6 on the board.
Almost backfired for the Irish. There was a hole there for a split second, but that ball gets all the way out to the 42-yard line, and the Raiders take over on offense once again. 4:11 to play in the first quarter. Raiders down by 1, 7-6. And once again, that full backfield set this week. That is Powell to Jets right, Jones to Jets left, and Jets going to keep it, get around that left end, and he'll dance out of bounds with a gain of about 4, bring up a 2nd down and 6.
We saw a lot of this out of Dallas Jet after his return, kind of getting out there, using that wiggle that he has to make a guy miss and get upfield for 4, 5, 6-yard gain. That one there, I think, went for 3 yards, so you're going to find yourself in a 2nd and 7. You want to make sure that you find yourself in a 3rd and manageable situation, and they can do that with the type of running backs and quarterbacks that they have.
Jet drops back, quick pass over the middle, a little bit too high, looking for, can't see the number over there, but it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. He was looking for Najee Jones over there on the left side. Just a little bit too tall for Najee.
Yeah, a little bit too high, and we talk all year, Dallas Jets got a rocket for an arm, and you saw it on that one there. A little bit too high, maybe a little bit too much mustard on the ball. Going to bring up the 3rd and 7.
The Raiders send 3 receivers to this side, and Jet drops back. Jet's going to keep it, tuck it and run. He is hit hard about the 50, fires ahead, and Jet gets close to a 1st down. Looks like he's going to be just a little bit short. Jet took a hard hit on that play, but he just kept going, moving the pile, and almost has a 1st down. It's 4th and less than 1.
Yeah, looks like they're going to just leave the offense on the field here on this 4th and short.
4th and inches for the Raiders.
And I think they're going to want a timeout to talk about this.
Timeout on the field.
And the Raiders do indeed use that first timeout with 3:17 to play in the first quarter. Going to talk over this 4th down and short.
Well, big play here. 3 minutes, 17 seconds left in the first. Find themselves in this 4th and short situation. Last time on 4th down, they went ahead and tried the fake on the on the punt. This time, just keep the traditional offense out there. You've got the running backs. You got Dallas Jet. This should be something that's manageable. You see a lot more in the NFL, especially if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. You see Stefanski takes advantage of those opportunities when you have those 4th and shorts. I think the analytics are there that says that this is a manageable down. Either a QB sneak right up the middle or use one of those big body backs like Powell just to get behind your guard and your tackle and just impose your will moving forward, get this first down, and get a fresh set of downs.
Including sports medicine, rehab, orthopedics, sports psychology, and nutrition. Learn more at akronchildrens.org/sports.
Both Powell and Jones will remain in the backfield. And Jet will come up under center. Jet's going to keep for the quarterback sneak. We have flags on the play.
That flag came from the back judge. Looks like it's probably going to be a procedure penalty against the Irish. We'll see if they decline it. But I'm not sure that he was, well, looks like they got it spotted. It's going to be close. And they're going to have to bring out the punt team because that would have been a first down. So they're going to have to bring out the punt team now with this 4th and 6.
Jake Doherty on to do the punting. 4th down and 6 for the Raiders. That's a pretty long looking 5 yards there.
Yeah, that two yards too far. Yep.
Not quite sure about there. Now we're moving it back a little bit. That looks a little bit more reasonable.
On to punt for the Raiders. Number 12, Jake Doherty.
Doherty with a low kick, and that's fielded about the 25-yard line. Ball advanced out to about the 42, 43-yard line. That was number 6, Connor Jones on the return for the Irish. It'll be 1st and 10, St. Vincent St. Mary's, and around their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, gonna end up with pretty good field position here. Bring that defense back out here. See if they can get a little bit of disruption, get a 3 and out, get the offense back on the field.
And this time the handoff is to number 43, Caden Spry. And Spry gets nothing on that first down play. It's a 2nd down and 10 at the 43.
Yeah, great pursuit by the defense there. Saw those linebackers step up, meet the running back at the line of scrimmage. They're able to stop him for no gain.
Jason Anderson and Sir Charles Gordon, they are the 2 receivers on this side of the line for the Irish. And this time Mansell's going to drop back to pass, get over the middle. He's got a man open. And that was number 8, Jason Anderson, going all the way across the field for that catch. And that's going to bring up a first down for the Irish.
Yeah, the drag pattern across the field there. Quarterback was able to run out. We talk about pressuring the line of scrimmage there. Made a defender make a choice. Not only did he have the receiver running that drag, but you'll see as that fullback comes out of the backfield there, 43, he had them on the short route, was able to check up to the number 8 there for a nice gain for the Irish.
Anderson gets it down to the Raider 39-yard line, where it's 1st and 10, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. And there's another loose ball.
I think we got it.
And it is Raider football at the Raider 44-yard line. Another fumble by the Irish.
Irish running some misdirection in the backfield there. You look like they were running a joker, and they came back with a counter the other way. Quarterback and the running back kind of got mixed up there. Could have been an RPO where the running back was thinking he was taking it. The quarterback tried to pull it back regardless. Put the ball on the ground for the second time here in the first half. Raiders are going to have the ball in great field position again.
1st and 10 Raiders at their own 43-yard line. There's just under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. The second fumble recovery for that Raider defense. The first resulted in the Raiders' only score of the evening so far. Dallas Jet with Javonte Jones behind him and Ryan Powell again to his right. 2 receivers here on the near side. Javonte Jones kind of gets crossed up and trips in the backfield. That's going to result in about a 4-yard loss for the Raiders. Back to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like he just got his feet tangled up there. Had a host of blockers out in front of him trying to hit that right edge up the sideline there.
Loss of 4 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 14.
Yeah, 2nd and 14 here. You really want to kind of space this out. Don't need to get them all here, but you want to put yourself in a manageable position on 3rd down.
That's Coleman and Boss. They are the receivers on this near sideline. Ryan Powell, the lone running back in there. And Jet's going to keep this one up the middle. Jet's got some running room around the end. Jet out to the sideline. And Jet's going to get about 8-9 yards. And there could be a late hit out of bounds.
That's going to tack another 15 on there. Put the Raiders, give them a fresh set of downs.
Jet with the keeper, gets it out to about the 50-yard line, make it the 49, gets it out of bounds, and a late pop by one of the Irish defenders is going to tack another 15 onto that, and it is 1st down Raiders at the Irish 36-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen some early mental mistakes here by the Irish, putting the ball on the ground twice, some early penalties that have really benefited the really benefited the Harding Raiders. Now they've got the ball with a fresh set of downs here in pretty decent field position inside the Irish 40-yard line.
And there's a handoff up the middle to Powell. Powell bowls his way forward for about 3. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 down to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, we've seen all year when Powell gets the ball, you know, they primarily run him up the middle, really just trying to use that strength and that size that he has to just to wear down the defense, imposing his will on those linebackers and those safeties that come up. You know, make them make a choice. Do you really want to step in front of this big body or not? Really like the way the young man runs, always turning his legs, always getting those extra yards after first contact.
Jones, Boss, and Lawrence, they are the 3 receivers up on top, and that's where Jet's looking. Jet over the middle. He finds Devin Boss for a 1st down. Boss spins his way inside the Irish 25-yard line.
Devin Boss been a constant in the defensive backfield all year, kind of the stalwart back there with the defensive backs. The senior, we've seen him on offense as well. Don't have him listed anything but 5'8", but he plays above the rim every game. He will go up and get it for Dallas Jet.
1st and 10 at the Irish 23-yard line, and that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter with the score. The St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish at 7, your Harding Raiders 6. And the Raiders are on the move to start the second quarter.
So not a bad start to the game here, 7-6, you know, could be tied up, a missed extra point there, but the Raiders got to start taking advantage of these turnovers. Irish put the ball on the ground twice there in the first quarter. Big, costly hit out of bounds. That moved them into the Irish territory. This is where you want to keep that momentum going. A nice little mixture that you're seeing of the ground game and the passing game is what has allowed the Raiders to be able to move the ball down the field as well as they have on this drive.
The Raiders are going to open up the second quarter with a 1st and 10 at the Akron 23-yard line. Again, this drive aided by that big personal foul penalty.
It's sustaining it. There's multiple ways to win a football game. You can have a great defense that doesn't allow points. You can have players that can just score from anywhere on the field, or you can put together sustaining drives. Those drives that are 8, 10, 12 plays, take a lot of time off the clock and keep the other offense off the field.
1st and 10 Raiders, Irish 23-yard line, and Jet's going to keep this one up the middle, and he is pulled down from behind. He might have gotten less than a yard on that play, but it's going to bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's Bryson Getz, 71, senior, one of their bigger linemen there. I would say their biggest lineman. They've got him listed here, 6'2", looks like 235. And he used every ounce of his strength there to just rip Dallas Jet down for a minimal gain.
They're calling it 2nd and 10, but that ball marker makes it look as though he's lost a little bit on that play. 3 receivers go up to the top. And Jet looks down here for Coleman. He finds him, but Coleman is hit immediately. That's going to be a gain of about maybe 4 on the play. Brings up a 3rd down and 6.
Jets pass complete to number 13.
Like to see these Chaz Coleman out there. We talked about him last week, his first varsity time, sophomore coming up, listed at 6'3", able to really go up and get the ball. But you like to see them starting the game off by these quick passes here. The defenses, they've seen the films, they've seen the deep ball. They're going to be bailing early, so if you can get them on those quick routes there, 3-step drops he releases, it gives him the time that he needs, but it also gives those receivers the opportunity to catch the ball in space and get upfield.
They're calling it 3rd down and 6, and Jet with a high one into the corner of the end zone. Nothing happening there. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 6. Looking again for Chaz Coleman.
Looks like there was a little miscommunication there. He thought he was going inside. Chaz thought he was going outside. A little bit of miscommunication there, but I like the identification of the one-on-one ball there. You see he threw that kind of almost a jump ball to give his receiver the ability to be able to go over there and high point the ball, but unfortunately just not on the same page there. That's going to come with some time. We talked about Chaz Coleman just coming up last week and getting the varsity time. That play is going to come with some time as they get better communication together.
Jake Doherty on to attempt a 36-yard field goal. Good snap, down, kick is up. And that kick is going to sail a little bit to the left. And the score remains Akron St. Vincent St. Mary 7, Warren G. Harding 6.
Yeah, got to be disappointed, obviously. You had a drive that looked like it was showing a lot of promise there. You saw the momentum going. Brought it down to the 4th down there. Looked to get 3 points, make that a 2-point ball game. Unfortunately, just unable to connect and to bring the defense back out here. Try to get a 3 and out and get the offense back on the field.
Irish take over, 1st down and 10 at their own 20-yard line. We're early in the 2nd quarter. Less than a minute gone by. We're 11:07 to the half. Irish offense back out on the field, led by their quarterback, sophomore, number 17, Gabe Mansell. Terrell Hobson, receiver coming down to this side. That's Anderson in motion. And there's the handoff up the middle. That looks like number 5, Harper once again.
Yeah, Harper, you see how, in football, doesn't matter how fast the running back is. The running back, before he breaks that 2nd level, he's got to be the same speed as his blockers. You saw the patience out of the running back there to let those blocks set up. Nice hole, able to get to 2nd level. Safeties are coming up making tackles. Those are always going to end up in big gains and possible 1st downs, as you saw.
Harper gets 10 yards on that carry. That results in another Irish 1st down. They have the ball at the 30 now. And another high snap, another ball on the ground. There's a scramble 4th downer, and it's Raider football once again. 1st and 10 at the Irish 29-yard line.
A lot of confusion in the backfield. Looks like they're just trying that RPO, and the running back wants it, and the quarterback's trying to take it back. Once again, resulting in the ball hitting the ground. Raiders ball, great field position.
Raiders getting break after break. It's time to do something with them breaks now.
Yeah, this is where your leader, the senior, your quarterback's got to step up. I expect them to see a lot of Dallas Jet, whether it's with his arm or with his legs. Right now, you got to put the hand. It's not about the play, it's about the player. Put the ball in the hand of your playmakers, and let's get 6 points out of this.
Irish, 30-yard line.
That's Boss and Lawrence up there on the high side. Jet's going to keep this when he gets up the middle. He's dancing around, finds a little room inside at 25. There's a flag on the play. Jet gets it down to about the 23-yard line.
In the area of holding, but I might have saw a face mask as well.
And that will be a holding call against the Raiders. That's going to negate a nice first down run by Dallas Jet.
Yeah, big penalty. Those holding, we talked about it in the beginning of the game, Tom. You go from a 1st and 10 with a good gain there. Putting the ball in Dallas Jet's hand, letting him use his legs, and that's going to result now in a 1st and 20 all the way back at all the way back at the Irish 40.
Again, Lawrence and Boss up on the high side. That's Najee Jones down here on the near side. And again, Jet with the keeper. He gets a few. He's going to bring up a 2nd down and about 18. He gets 2 on that play.
Brought down by number 51, Nick Gage.
Look for the Raiders to start utilizing a lot of aggressiveness up front here on the from the Irish. Look for the Raiders to try to capitalize on that. Maybe some middle screens and really just try to capitalize on the aggressiveness that the Irish were showing here early.
Again, those looks like Najee Jones and Devin Boss, Jacob Lawrence all go up on the top. That's Brian Powell inside. Jet looking down that right side. That ball is tipped and falls incomplete. That's going to bring up 3rd and 18.
Dallas Jet looking to complete something early there, giving his receiver some opportunity. Unfortunately, I think the defensive end there got a paw up on it, popped that ball up in the air, lucky to get it back with the trajectory of that ball just floating out there. Raiders lucky to get the ball back here for that 3rd and 18.
And the Raiders with 2 receivers on either side of this set. Jet drops straight back. He's got some time. He's falling down long down the middle. And just over the outstretched arms down there. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 18. I believe he's looking for Jacob Lawrence down the middle.
Lawrence had a step there, a little skinny post route down the middle of the field, one-on-one coverage. He had a step there, just outside of the outstretched arms.
4th and 18. It looks like the Raiders are going to keep the offense on the field here and see what they get. Nope, take that back. Here comes the punt team. Try to pin the Irish back on this possession.
Yeah, looking to play a field position game here. Want to get them pinned somewhere inside the 10-yard line. Look for Jake to kick something high to give his coverage team time to get down there and hold them to minimal yards.
And that ball is nearly blocked. It's going to get out of bounds somewhere inside the 20. Looks like around the 15-yard line.
Ball goes out of bounds inside the 20.
About between the 15 and 16, that ball gets out of bounds. So Doherty able to get the Irish back a little bit.
Yeah, intentional kick there. Didn't want to give them any opportunity, so he tried to angle it to the sideline there. Probably went out of bounds a little quicker than Jake would have liked to, but still not too bad for the the Raider defense, having the Irish pinned back on their own 16-yard line.
9:05 to go in the half.
We'll see what this Irish offense does. They've got to be a little bit concerned about putting the ball on the ground 3 times. I think even more. I think maybe in another time they just recovered it, but just some real ball control issues early on here for the Irish.
And this time Mansell sets up under center. That's the first time we've seen that. And he gets the pitch out to Kelker. Kelker looking for room around that left end. There's one tackle missed, and Kelker's going to get ahead close to a 1st down. There was a hand on him back here at the line of scrimmage, but that's a 10-yard gain and a 1st down for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, Kelker hitting the side, hitting the end there, stuck that left foot in the ground, was able to get upfield, make a tackler miss there. Something that could have been a loss or maybe a minimal gain ends up being a first down here for the Irish.
And it looks like the Irish are going to keep Mansell under center for the time being. And the handoff is again to Kelker up the middle. Kelker gets through the line. He's going to get about 7 on that play. Brings up a second down and 3.
Looks like the ball went on the ground. The ball's on the ground again. They're marking
and
it.
Raiders are signaling they got the ball. Haven't seen anything from the officials yet.
They've got the beanbag out, so they called it a fumble. Let's see who's came up with it.
And it looks like the Irish are going to maintain possession of the football. They get it out to about the 34-yard line. It's going to be a second down and 2.
Couldn't see where the ball came out at, but you saw all the Raiders signaling that they had recovered the ball, and it looked like the ball was actually handed to the official, so they must have called him down by contact. But once you see that beanbag come out, one of the officials did feel that that ball was loose before the runner's progress was stopped.
And again, Kelker up the middle off the tackle. He's going to get ahead for a first down on that play.
Anthony Kelker is on the ball carrier again.
The Irish keeping Mansell under center now, Ed.
Number 10, Dallas Jet.
Looks like that's going to move the sticks here and
Takes it out to the
give the Irish a fresh set of downs.
Brings up 1st and 10, Irish.
Irish get the ball out to the 38-yard line. 1st and 10, coming up on 7.5 minutes left in this first half.
Raiders are stacking the box.
And Mansell again with the handoff to Kelker. Kelker gets some more room outside, and he's dragged out of bounds after a gain of about 6. Santino Harper that time, not Kelker. Number 5, Santino Harper.
Right now, the Irish are grinding it out on the ground, big chunks of yards at a time. You can see the Raider defense trying to react to that. I believe they had 9 in the box on that last play, still resulting in 5 yards.
And the handoff again to Harper. He's tripped up, gets a gain of about 1 on that, brings up a 3rd down and 4.
Brian Powell flying up, I believe, from that safety position, able to hit him quickly at the legs there, taking him down, which could have been a lot bigger, but it's going to be a gain of 1, bringing up a 3rd and 4.
Ball sitting at the Irish 44-yard line, 3rd down and 4, coming up on 6 minutes, almost halfway through the second quarter. Irish working on a 7-6 lead, trying to get a little something more before the half. The Raiders will take over the football to begin the second half. And there's Santino Harper again. Harper spins his way to a first down, all the way into Raider territory at the 45-yard line.
Strong run by Santino Harper there. He probably got that first down after first contact. If you see here, Raiders bring the blitz, able to hit him there probably about the line of scrimmage, but I mean, he's got good 7-8 yards after first contact.
1st and 10 Irish at the Raider 45, and now it's the Irish moving the football on offense. 5.5 to play in the first half. Irish with all 3 timeouts if they need them. And this time Mansell drops back. Mansell looking way down his sideline. He's got number 4 down there, just overthrows Terrell Hobson the third, and that brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Irish have seen a lot of success this drive with the run, so they pulled the play action fake there, found his receiver one-on-one down the sideline with a couple steps just right outside the outstretched arms of his receiver. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Hobson, another big receiver at 6'1".
Ball's
And there's
on the
another
ground.
ball on the ground in backfield. And it's covered up by Santino Harper, but that's a 3-yard loss. Brings up a 3rd down and 9. Actually, 3rd down and 13 make it.
A lot of trouble early on for the Irish with ball control. That's the 4th or 5th time we've seen them put the ball on the ground tonight. I assume that's why we saw them go back to that, under center, because they were trying those RPOs and they just kept on getting miscommunication between the quarterback and running back, putting the ball on the ground there. A simple pitch there to the right, running back unable to come up with it. Irish lucky to have it back for this 3rd and 13.
And Mansell drops straight back, looking up, the little screen over the middle. That's Santino Harper. Harper's going to get the 1st down and a lot more. Harper well inside the 25. There's a flag on the play. Harper gets it all the way down to the 5-yard line, and there's a flag back here at the 27.
That looks like in the area of holding. It's going to be a spot foul, so they're going to get some yards on that, even if it is the holding. But Santino, look, you got to give credit where it's due. Slips out of the backfield here, makes his way upfield, but talk about the yards after contact.
And that is going to be a holding call on the Irish. Looks like they're going to have that spotted at the 25 and march it back 10 yards from there. That should give the Irish a 1st down at the Raider 35 when it's all said and done. And that looks like exactly what's going to be happening here right now. So it's 1st and 10 Irish at the Raider 35. 4 minutes, 9 seconds to play in the 1st half. Irish sitting on a 7-6 lead at the moment, trying to build on that. Again, the Raiders will open up the 2nd half with the football.
Irish taking advantage of some of the aggressiveness by the Raiders. Looks like we brought a blitz that time. Let them all come through, was able to hit the running back for that quick pop pass and let him do the rest up the field.
And this time the handoff is to Kelker around the end. Kelker gets about 5 or 6 on that play. Actually, he's going to give him about 9. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and short.
Able to hit the edge there. Not sure if I saw a hold on our defensive end there that allowed him to be able to get outside. But once again, the Irish doing the job on the ground.
2nd down and 2 on the 8-yard gain by DeAnthony Kelker. Kelker remains the running back, lined up in that tailback position. Mansell has been under center for the last couple of series of play. Now he's going to drop back into a more of a shotgun type position. And it's Kelker again. Kelker's met in the backfield, but Kelker bounces off and manages to get ahead for the 1st down inside the 25.
One of the stats that they watch up at the college levels and the pros is that those yards, yards after contact, the yak. I mean, tonight you're seeing you got to wrap this kid up. He's got a strong lower body, keeps those legs churning, able to get 3, 4, 5 yards after contact.
1st and 10 at the Raider 23-yard line. Under 2:35 to play in the half. And this time it's Caden Spry. Spry gets ahead for about 3 before he's pulled down at the 20-yard line.
Caden Spry, you've kind of watched him all game. You could almost follow him and follow the ball. Like to use him as a lead blocker there to get the running backs a little more room to use that speed and strength to get upfield.
2nd down and 7 at the Raider 20. Clock continues to run here in the 1st half. We're approaching the 2-minute mark. It's Anderson and Gordon, the 2 receivers up on top. And Hobson down here, all those receivers 6 foot and over for the Irish.
Got a receiver
And
wide
Mansell
open.
looking into the corner for Gordon. Overthrows Gordon just a little bit. And will bring up a 3rd down and 7.
It's like a mix-up in the defensive backfield there. He wasn't able to see him early. Gordon was wide open. Safety was able to use his speed to get over there to try to run some interference. Poorly thrown ball sailed out of bounds, but that could have been a disaster if you just saw him early there with what looks to be a blown coverage in the defensive backfield.
3rd and 7 at the Raider 20. And once again, you got to believe the Irish are in 4-down territory here late in the first half with the ball deep in Raider territory, just outside the red zone. Spry and Harper, they are the running backs in the backfield. Looks like an official timeout.
Quick update from Massillon in the second quarter. Fitch 7, Massillon 14.
All right, we're ready to go once again. 3rd and 7. The handoffs to Harper. Harper trying to get around that left end. And Harper breaks free. Santino Harper from 20 yards out. And it is a 13-6 Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's lead.
Running back able to get outside that edge there. As soon as he got outside, nobody there in that second level. It was off to the races for Santino. As you see that seal block by 43, we talked about follow him, follow the ball. Santino able to get up the field and cap off this drive with an Irish touchdown.
Bertolini in to attempt the extra point. It's Mansell, the starting quarterback, is the holder. And that kick is up, and it is good, and the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish have opened up a 14-6 lead.
You got a minute 39 here, 2 timeouts, definitely enough time in high school. Clock's going to stop on first down, so obviously enough time to be able to do something here. But we'll see what they're going to try. We haven't seen the deep passes as they're accustomed to throwing, so we'll see if they take a couple shots down the field just for the effect of pushing these linebackers and these safeties back, giving that running game a little room to develop.
And if Harding can get down there and even give Jake Doherty a chance at a field goal and put some points on the board, again, they do get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, at halftime, they're going to talk about, their inability to be able to take advantage of those turnovers. Something that you didn't expect to see out of a team coming in here at 4-1. They put the ball on the ground a few times, just unable to establish that offensive identity here in the first half.
Weaver and Jones are set up on the 5-yard line.
Jones and number 20, Raylan Adams. Kicking off for the Irish, number 35, Nick Bertolini.
On the last kickoff, the Irish avoided the deep backs and rolled one to one of the up backs. We'll see if they try to go deep on this play. And again, kind of a squib kick. And that's gathered up about the 34-yard line, and that's where it's going to end. And Harding's going to get the ball at the 33 to begin this last minute and a half of the second quarter.
Yeah, good hands by Boss there. One of the upmen touched that. That was it was a live ball regardless on the kickoff. Devin Boss able to sweep that up. Good to put Harding in a pretty decent position here, about the 37-yard line. Excuse me, about the 33-yard line. We talked 2 timeouts, minute 34 left.
And Dallas Jet trots his offense on the field. That's looks like Boss and Jones among the 3 receivers on this side. Ryan Powell is the running back. And there's a pass out here to
Jets pass complete to number 6.
that was Devin Boss. He finds Devin Boss on the pass out in the flat. That's enough for a Raider first down. Gets the ball out to the 44-yard line.
Gain of 11 brings up first and 10 at the 44.
Jet looking the other way. Down that sideline. He's got Devin Boss again and just overthrows him a little bit. Boss was open over there in the flats for another first down. That's going to bring up a second down and 10.
Strong throw by Dallas Jet there across the field. Had Devin Boss. He sat down in that zone there, found the soft spot, just a little bit out of the reach of his receiver.
Had an area all to himself over there. That same formation, those three receivers up to the far side. Second down and 10. Jet drops back again. Jet trying to avoid the rush, and Jet gets the ball away. And he manages to avoid a sack on that play. Looking for Coleman, but that was more desperation heave just to get the ball out of bounds and avoid the loss.
Yeah, the offensive line's been holding their own, giving Dallas enough time to, comfortable time, clean pockets to throw the ball out of. That time he turned to give himself a little room, kind of turned right into that right end, ended up in a position he didn't want to be in, luckily able to get that ball off to avoid the disaster of a 10, 15-yard loss.
Third down and 10. There's a minute 4 to play in the half. And again, a heavy rush. The pass is complete on a sideline. Gets it out to the 50, brings up a 4th down and 4. He finds Chaz Coleman over here on the sideline. Coleman, who came up big last week, getting some varsity time. Called his name for the first time a few times last week. Raiders are not going to take any chances here. They're going to send Jake Doherty out to punt, try to close out this half, being down only 1 score.
No, absolutely. I know a lot of people are looking, saying, hey, you might as well try to go for this. Look, this game is still well in hand. 1 score. Pin them deep, get into the locker room, talk about it, come back out for the second half.
Doherty again looking for that sideline, and it's going to get out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 26. And with 52 seconds left in the first half, the Irish are going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line and holding on right now to a 14-6 lead.
Obviously, the Raiders, got to be careful here. 52 seconds left. The Irish do have all 3 timeouts remaining. We talked about those big receivers they have to the outside. You got to watch that one-on-one coverage with the 50-50 balls.
Gabe Mansell, and he sets up under center again. The Irish have had their problems with the snaps and all that goes along with that. So he sets up under center. He's going to drop back. He's going to hand that ball off to Harper. Harper has been a beast for the Irish so far, and there's about a 15, 17-yard gain out to the 45-yard line, and that's another first down for the Irish. And they are really playing some hurry-up offense, trying to get something going in these final 40 seconds of the half. Mansell, he's trying to find it. He gets it down the sideline. And nice coverage down there by Najee Jones.
Number 17 gave Mansell's pass intended for number 4, Terrell Hobson.
And Hobson down there.
And Najee Jones on that one-on-one coverage there, going up, not allowing the receiver to high point the ball, and a lot of discipline, because I think everybody thought that he was going to run the ball on that. Stopped short of that line of scrimmage, took the shot down deep. Defense with good discipline, able to bring this ball back for a 2nd and 10 and 30 seconds left in the first half.
2nd down and 10. I think that was number 8. Jason Anderson, the target on that last play. At any rate, it went incomplete on the defense of Najee Jones. And the handoff is again to Harper. And Harper again bulls ahead for a first down. At 5'9", 195-pound running back built low to the ground. He's just lowering his shoulder and running.
Oh, like a bowling ball. I mean, especially once he gets past the 2nd level and he's got some speed to go behind him. I mean, he's relentless tonight. This first half, he has been the star for the Irish, moving the ball at will.
Call it 9 on the play. He's going to bring him a 3rd down and 1 with 19 seconds to play. The Irish use a timeout right there to try to gather themselves. They're trying to put some more points on the board before the half, and they've got 19 seconds to do that.
You know, we've watched their kicker, you know, whether from their kickoffs to the extra points, and he's got a strong leg. It looks like they're on what, about the 40, so you're looking at probably they're going to need at least another 10, 15 yards, I think, before they'd be comfortable with the field goal range. 19 seconds left in the game. The coaches are just talking to him about discipline. Do your job, stay in your areas, trust your teammates, and do your job. That's the most important thing. Don't try to do anybody else's job in this 19 seconds. Maintain discipline, stay in your area, play the defense you were taught.
3rd and 7 for the Irish. And Mansell's going to keep that and push it ahead for the first down. Gets it down to the 43-yard line.
They're going to hurry to the line here. As soon as they get it
Clock
marked, that
running
clock
with
will start.
15 seconds. Mansell looking down that sideline, gets it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 5 seconds of play. 2nd down and 10 at the 43-yard line.
So you got 5 seconds left here in the half. Those safeties are going to want to stay deep. The linebackers are going to want to watch anything over the middle. Don't want to give them just a free catch and run, because we've seen they've got the ability to make a couple guys miss and get up the field.
Irish line up for what should be the final play of the first half. And Mansell steps back, and he is looking deep, fires it down that far side. Looking for Sir Charles Gordon down there. I think Gordon had his hands on it, but couldn't quite reel it in. That's going to be the end of the first half. Score at halftime. The Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish 14, and your Harding Raiders 6.
Well, they were able to keep it within one score here, 14-6. They're going to get the ball back at halftime. Go to that locker room, have a conversation, talk about the things that worked, talk about the things that didn't work. You got to keep the intensity, and that's what I liked about seeing with the Raiders. Look, Harper had a great first half. He's a tough kid, tough runner. He's going to get his yards. What you got to do is you got to try to contain him. You're not going to stop him, so you got to try to contain him. You can't give up the 6, 8, 9-yard runs. You've got to hold him to those 3, 4-yard runs. Yeah, he's going to break a couple here and there and get those big gains, but you got to keep him out of the end zone and try to contain him. And watch those big receivers to the outside. We saw that they've taken the shots down there. The corners have been able to hold their own, but coming back out here, Harding has to take advantage of the turnovers. If they're able to get the ball on the ground again, they've got to be able to get some points to show for it.
Okay, Raider Nation, stay tuned for halftime. You're going to see the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Band, the Harding Raider Marching Band, and it is homecoming. So stay tuned. We're going to find out who our 2022 homecoming king and queen are. We'll be back for the second half shortly.
Steve Lee, Jacob Borsick, escorted by Mother Christine Borsick. And now, our junior court representatives. Deljaya Moore, escorted by Mother Deanna Dukes. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our freshman, sophomore, and junior homecoming court representatives. It is now time for the 2022 homecoming senior courts. Isabella Brandt, escorted by Mother Monica Brandt, is a member of the National Honor Society, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and is on the girls bowling team. Future plans are to attend Kent State University to major in social work. Kyrie Klinkskill, escorted by best friend Allison Sinsich, is a member of the Poetry Club, Yearbook, a founding member of the Spirit Club, and softball team. Future plans are to attend Howard University to major in law to become a lawyer. Anasia Moore, escorted by stepmom Demetrius Brown, was a member of track and field. Future plans are to attend Cleveland State University to pursue a career in pediatric nursing and to minor in psychology and nutrition. Kerrigan Riley. Escorted by Mother Leslie Riley, is a member of the National Honor Society, Student Council, Spirit Club, Poetry Club, a varsity cheerleader, and a varsity softball player. Future plans are to attend The Ohio State University to major in psychology to become a clinical psychologist for youth-based developments. Sydney Strother. Escorted by Mother Monica Freeman, is a member of the Renaissance Program, Upward Bound, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Student Council, and is a varsity cheerleader. Future plans are to attend the University of Cincinnati to major in business finance. Trey Crowder. Escorted by Father James Parnell, is a member of the WSCN and choir. Future plans are to attend YSU to major in forensic science and the anthropology track to become a coroner. Isaiah Fuhrwerker. Escorted by Mother Amy McMahon, is a member of Student Council, Poetry Club, Madrigals, and is one of the Raider mascots. Future plans are to be self-employed and start his own business. Ethan O'Malley. Escorted by Mother Nicole Lopez, is a member of the marching band, swimming team, and track and field. Future plans are to attend college to swim and major in business. Khalil Williams. Escorted by Mother Letitia Hertz, is a member of the boys basketball team. Future plans are to attend college, play basketball, and start his own clothing line. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your 2022 Warren G. Harding Homecoming Court. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to announce the 2022 Warren G. Harding Homecoming King and Queen. To crown our homecoming king is homecoming coordinator Dawn Harper. And now, your 2022 Warren G. Harding homecoming king is, drum roll please, Khalil Williams. Let's hear it, Mollenkoff, for Khalil. To crown our homecoming queen, please help us welcome back 2021 homecoming queen, Jade Allen. And now, your 2022 Warren G. Harding homecoming queen is, drum roll please, Anasia Moore. Let's hear it, Mollenkoff, for Anasia. Congratulations to Khalil and Anasia, and thank you to every homecoming court representative.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, students, parents, and friends. Please welcome the St. Vincent St. Mary High School Marching Band.
Fighting Irish Marching Band is led under the direction of Mr. Brian Campbell, Assistant Director, Mrs. Lori Wenman, Major Ed Advisor, Mrs. Caitlin Watts, Percussion Advisor, Mr. Jacob Brady, and the student teacher is Mr. Caleb Sparks. Tonight, we are performing songs through the last 50 years. Things are going to get hazy as we drop back into the 70s for a little Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. Jet forward to the 80s and enter the danger zone with Kenny Loggins and the Irish. Rocking into the 90s with Everybody, and I mean everybody, by the Backstreet Boys. The Fighting Irish Marching Band wants to thank all of you for your kind attention. Have a great evening, and go Irish!
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we present the 2022 Raider Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Reed Young and Heather Surrey. Our majorette instructors are Marissa Welke and Gabby Jones. Sideline instructors are Celeste Harris and Mariah Cocker. Percussion instructors are Brian Younger and George Pringle. The band is led onto the field by field commanders Loretta Ramsey, Olivia Dunn, and head drummer Elise Vaughn. Raider Band is proud to present our 2022 show titled Unstoppable, as we feature a variety of hit songs that we know you'll enjoy. Our opening song takes us back to the year of 1999 with the group The Backstreet Boys. Here is Larger Than Life. The Raider Band is on the move with this 2015 hit from the boy band, One Direction. With trumpet soloist Brooklyn Bound, here is Drag Me Down. 2021 hit by the artist Olivia Rodrigo. Here is Good For You. The Raider Band would like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer on our Raider team. There they go, ladies and gentlemen, the 2022 Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band.
Welcome back, Raider Nation. We're all set for the second half kickoff. Starting off the second half, the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish, they have a 14-6 lead. The Raiders are sending Javante Jones and Raylan Weaver back deep to receive this second half kickoff, although the Irish have yet to kick to those deep backs. They've kicked a couple of squibs. We'll see what they do to start the second half. Raiders looking to get on the board early and make this a close one as we get into the second half.
Second half's all about the adjustments. We saw the Irish come out with a strong running game behind number 5, Santino Harper. Raiders unable to really establish an identity on offense. Had a little bit here with some runs, able to hit a couple passes here and there, but just not able to capitalize on the multiple turnovers of the Irish. We'll look to see what the Raiders talked about at halftime, see if they've made some adjustments, see if we can get this ball down the field for 6.
Nick Bertolini set to kick off. And again, it's a squib kick up the right side. That's picked up by Devin Boss. Boss looking for some room. Boss finds a hole. Boss out to the 40. Boss brings it to the 45-yard line. And the Raiders with great field position to start the second half.
Yeah, going to start. Boss, one person away from being able to take it the distance there. We talk about the ability of these of the athletes that exist on this Raider team, able to score from anywhere on the field. You saw it right there. One step away from being able to break that for 6.
And the Raiders will set up to begin this second half. 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Once again, Dallas Jet brings his offense out. He's going to have Ryan Powell in that backfield with him. The Raiders have 3 receivers on the near side. And Jet looks this way, turns the other way. He's going to keep that around the end. He's got a little bit of room. And Jet will get it out of bounds with almost a 5-yard gain on first down.
Looked like maybe some miscommunication on the left. Jet came back, looked like he wanted to get a quick screen out there to his left-hand side. Nothing open. He was able to tuck it and get around the right end for a good 5-6 yard gain on first down.
2nd down and 5 out to the 49-yard line. And this time the handoff is up the middle to Ryan Powell. Powell gets into the line of scrimmage. He might get 2 out of that. They pushed him back, but his progress is going to get just over the 50-yard line into Irish territory, bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Raiders.
Irish defense has been strong up the middle all night. The Raiders have found their success when they've went with the 2-back set with Jones and Powell, with Powell being that lead blocker around the corners, getting outside the edge. Same with Dallas Jet. A lot of those running yards have come when he's been able to break that edge, get to the outside, use their speed, and get upfield.
Looks like Chaz Coleman and Najee Jones, they are the receivers on this side. And this time Jet keeps it under some heavy pressure, gets outside the pressure, dumps it over the line of scrimmage, just a little bit short. That's going to bring up a 4th and 4.
Dallas able to use his speed to give himself some time and some room to get that pass off, pressure the line. We've talked about that in the past. Getting him out there, having pressuring the line of scrimmage, making that defense make a decision. You saw the safety of the corner that was covering Coleman, made that decision, came up to pressure Jet. Jet recognized it, got the pass off, but a great play by the defense there to knock that down before it was able to get to a wide open Coleman.
Low line drive kick. Connor Jones fields it at his own 24, and he's ridden out of bounds at the 32-yard line, and that's where the Irish are going to start their second half possession.
Defense is going to take the field for the first time here in the second half, looking to duplicate a lot of what they were able to do in the first half, and that was turnovers, forcing the Irish to put the ball on the ground to mitigate the scoring opportunities. Now, it's all going to come down to number 5. What did they decide about Santino Harper? Santino Harper in the first half really running like a man amongst boys out there. The Raiders are going to have to find a way to be able to disrupt them in the backfield, stop him from getting his momentum going and getting those big gains.
And Harper is the back in the backfield, but this handoff is to Kelker around the end. Kelker's met in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss on first down.
Looks like that was number 16, Drew McCown. Came from that outside linebacker's position, flew in there, was able to get his arm on the ball. Could have been a turnover right there, but nice play to start the first defensive series here for no gain.
Check that. That was number 8, Jason Anderson, trying his luck at the end around. He did make it back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 32. And this time the give is to Harper. And this time the Raiders are able to drag him down just to gain him a couple. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. Let's call it 3rd down and 8 at the 35-yard line.
Really like to see the pursuit of this defense. 5 guys around the ball on that tackle there, exactly what they want to see. You know, do your job, push him back to the inside. You want to see all helmets to the ball right there. Excellent example of that. Just corralling the running back that's been elusive all night to be able to stop him for that minimal gain of 3.
3rd down and 7, 35-yard line. And Mansell looking to his left, gets over the middle, looking for Gordon on that play. Pass is incomplete, and the Raiders are going to force a 3 and out on the Irish first possession. They're going to be forced to punt.
Great defensive stand there by the Raiders, able to get the offense off the field with this 4th and 7. Dallas Jet back deep, always dangerous. We'll see if they choose to kick to him.
They've kept it away from him on earlier punts, but now there's a big field in front of him this time, so they may give him a shot and see if the Irish can make the coverage.
Looks like they're coming.
And it is a high kick. And again, nowhere near Dallas Jet. That takes a little bit of an Irish bounce and then starts rolling back. The Irish are going to down it at the 31-yard line. So the Raiders, after a nice defensive stand, 3 and out, take the ball over on their own 31 with 9:07 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Let's see what the offense tries to do here. You're looking for they had some success in the first half, Tom, with that 2-back set with Ryan Powell as that lead blocker. We'll see if they go back to that to see if they can start to chip away at some yards and start to run this clock as well, keeping that Irish offense on the sideline.
Looks like for the moment, Powell is the only back in that backfield. 3 receivers on the near side. And Jet's going to keep it, he's going to follow Powell around that end. And he gets tripped up in the backfield, taken down by a shoelace back there. That's going to result in a couple-yard loss for the Raiders.
Yeah, designed run there, designed sweep to the right-hand side. Had a couple blockers in front of him, but one of the Irish defenders able to get in there, like you said, shoestring tackle, could have prevented a big play.
That's a loss of about 3, brings up 2nd down and 13. Coleman and Boss over on this side, wide left. And Jet looks over this side. He's forced to throw that one quick. That's incomplete. 3rd and 13.
Jet with a lot of pressure up in his face there, unable to step into that throw, resulting in that skip pass to the receiver.
That's Najee Jones and Devin Boss and Chaz Coleman. They are the 3 receivers on this side. And Jet is looking this way again. Straight drop, little time over the middle. And that ball is knocked down there. Looks like number 6, Connor Jones for the Irish broke that one up. Looking for Devin Boss over the middle.
Yeah, excellent coverage there over the middle. Looked like he could have been there a little bit early, but just a great play by the defense there. Going to bring up a 4th and 13 for the Raiders.
And Connor Jones, who just broke that pass up, he steps back deep for the Irish as Jake Doherty trots on to punt. And this time, a high spiraling kick. That's taken at the 45. Jones trying to get around to the sideline. gets it down to the Raider 40-yard line before he's hit out of bounds. And that's where it's going to be 1st and 10 Irish at the Raider 39-yard line.
Irish are going to start their second possession of the second half in pretty good field position here. Inside, it looks like the Raider, maybe outside. Where are they marking this at?
Well, I saw one official standing on the 39. Looks like they're going back a little bit. They're going to take this back to about the 45. Penalty on the play. Well,
that's going to be a first down.
And the Raiders catch another break. There was a roughing the kicker. And the spot is at the 43, but it's going to be Raider football, 1st and 10.
Raiders given a lot of opportunities tonight by this Akron team. Got to be able to capitalize on this.
And again, Ryan Powell. We haven't seen Javonte Jones for a little while in there. And Jet again, he finds Najee Jones. Jones gets around a corner. Jones past the 50. And that's close to a first down. It's about a 9-yard pickup. Brings up a 2nd down and 1 at the Irish 49-yard line.
You know, Dallas Jets got the strong enough arm to be able to get those wide screens out there quick enough to be able to give the running backs an opportunity to get upfield. When you find that you're unable to establish maybe a run up the middle, this is just another extension of a run, running these screen plays.
And now we see Javonte Jones back in the game. He sets up the Dallas Jets right. And they give his to Jones. Jones around the corner, first down. Jones almost breaks a tackle all the way down to the Irish 35-yard line.
Starting to see a little rhythm here. We'll see if they speed up the offense. Starting to get a little rhythm here with the last couple plays. Maybe some momentum after that roughing the punter call.
1st and 10 Raiders, and they are on the move at the Irish 35, approaching the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Again, the Raiders are trailing 14-6 at the moment, just one score, 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game. 3 receivers step up to the right. And this time, Jet's going to try to keep it, and he's met in the backfield, shakes off a tackler, and he manages to pick up a yard before he's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, nice footwork in the backfield by Jet there, able to elude that first tackler for a loss. Only a gain of 1 there, but could have been a lot worse. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Raiders.
Gain of 1. 2nd down and 9.
That's Weaver and Lawrence making their way to the top side of your formation. Chaz Coleman down here. And Jet's going to roll out to his right. Looking back over the middle. He's got a man over the middle. That ball is complete for a Raider first down inside the Irish 25-yard line.
Tom, I really think that's the bread and butter right now. Get Dallas Jet out on the corners, get him mobile, and let him take advantage of some of that middle space there. Let him throw those 10, 15-yard passes, giving his receivers opportunity to make plays.
Eris Coleman Bay on that reception, trailing across the middle. Finds a soft spot in there, picks up the first down. It's 1st and 10 at the Irish 22-yard line. And again, 3 receivers on the left. And this time, Jet keeps it up the middle, gets a couple up to maybe the 20-yard line.
Number 10, Dallas Jet on the quarterback keeper. Tackled by number
Yeah, steady offense, no need to panic. You know, 1-score game with a 2-point conversion. Still early in the second half here. Defense is played strong. It's just finding that identity for the offense, mixing it up. Get this defense off balance.
They're going to give Dallas Jet 1 yard. He picks it up to the 21-yard line. It's 2nd down and 9. High snap, Jet corrals it, moves out to his left. Jet looking over the middle once again. He finds a man in there. That ball's complete at about the 14-yard line. That's a couple yards short, but it is a 3rd down and 2. He finds Eris Coleman Bay over the middle.
Really like what we're seeing here, using the athleticism of Dallas Jet, getting them out there, getting that defense chasing them, making them make decisions, making them commit. Once Dallas Jet's got the speed to give himself the space, that once that defense commits, he's able to find those open receivers thus far on this drive.
Looks like Bay, Boss, and Weaver, they are out to the right. And Jet's going to keep this up the middle. Jet finds some room. Jet down to the 5-yard line. Jet inside the 5-yard line. It's first and goal, Harding.
Dallas Jet, hard runner. Could have went down probably 5 yards before, but he had a nose for the end zone. Kept it running inside the 5-yard line. He's going to be at the 4 with a first down. Protect the ball down here. This is one of the plays we talked about in that Ursuline game. We had a great drive going. Unfortunately, a fumble out of the back of the end zone caused a turnover on downs, and the Raiders weren't able to tie that game up. We're going to learn from that mistake here. 2 hands on the ball, secure it, get in the end zone for 6.
Powell and Jones are both in the backfield along with Dallas Jet. And this time the handoff is up the middle to Javonte Jones. Jones is met hard at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to lose a yard on that, back to the 5-yard line.
And that Irish defense all night's been strong up the middle with that front 4 and their linebackers stepping up, meeting the running backs in the holes. Hard-nosed football on both sides of the ball here.
Second and goal from the 5-yard line. We're under 3.5 to play in the third quarter. And this time, Jet's going to keep it. Jet looking right there, right in.
Got it.
Jet racing for the corner. Touchdown, Raiders!
It was only a matter of time. Dallas Jet's been showing all night, using his legs to buy himself some time for the pass, using his athletic ability to get outside there. Once he broke the edge, nobody was home. Sprinted to the end zone for a touchdown. We're a 2-point conversion away from tying this.
That makes the score 14-12 in favor of the Irish. And the Raiders, more than likely, they're going to set up for 2 here and try to tie this ball game with 3 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
Like to see that same philosophy here. Get Dallas Jet out on the corner. Let him use his athleticism. Make that defense commit.
And again, a full backfield. And that gave us a Javonte Jones. Jones loses his footing, is brought down, so the conversion is no good. But it is now a 2-point ball game, 14-12 in favor of the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Irish.
Offense did what they needed to do on that drive, able to take it down, run some time off the clock, establish a drive there, a little mix of the pass, a little mix of the run. A lot of Dallas Jet on that offense, putting the offense on his shoulder, getting them down there for 6. They're going to ask this defense to step out here one more time and make a stop to get the offense back on the field. Now we'll see, Tom. We saw a traditional kickoff. We saw Jake Doherty. We've seen him with kind of a little pooch kick, trying to find that soft middle there for a possible turnover. We'll see what they go here.
That's Hobson and Kelker. They are the deep men. And Hobson and Kelker have both shown they can move the ball when it gets in their hands. Doherty set up the kick. And again, the little pooch. That ball is live in there, and it is covered at about the 33-yard line. Irish 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Well, here comes the defense. They've been able to hold this Irish offense in check for the second half. Haven't seen a lot of number 5, Santino Harper. Santino Harper, the workhorse from the first half, has been kind of quiet here thus far in the second half. We'll see if the Irish go back to feeding them the ball and if the Raiders have an answer for it.
And that looks like it is indeed Santino Harper. He is the running back. He sets up to Gabe Mansell's right. The Irish sent 3 receivers to the far side. And Mansell's going to keep this one around the right end. He finds a little bit of room. Mansell's going to get a first down on that first play. Gets it out to the 44-yard line. 1st and 10, Akron.
Using Harper as the decoy there as a counter to the left. Quarterback was able to keep it, get around that edge. Upfield for a nice gain to give him a brand new set of downs in the for the first down.
Mansell, a sophomore, but he is managing the game well for Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Well, you know, even in a close game, when you have a running back like Santino Harper, it puts you at a deficit because you know if they can just start turning around and handing him the ball, knocking off 5 yards at a time and running this clock down, Raiders got to do something here quick.
And this time it is Harper. Harper gets it ahead for about 5. He gets it up around the 50-yard line, make it the 49-yard line. That brings up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, just what we talked about. I mean, they kind of had him corralled, but once again, you know, a 5-yard gain, 3 of those yards probably came after the first contact.
Again, Harper, 5'9", 195 pounds. He is built low to the ground, so he is hard to bring down. He gets those shoulders down, and that's a tough ball carrier. Sets up behind Caden Spry in the tailback spot. Again, Mansell goes under center, and again, it's Harper up the middle. Harper's going to get close to the first down. He's going to be about 1.5 yards short, brings up a 3rd down for the Irish.
Yeah, watch 43 Spry in the first half. If you could follow him, you'd follow the ball. They like to run behind him. I'm sure the defense has caught on to that. Almost want to mirror him. Wherever he goes, there's a good chance that there's going to be the ball's going to be behind him.
3rd down and 1 for the Irish. Almost a jump by the defense. He managed to not break that plane, so.
Irish looking to pick up a cheap one there with the hard count. And they're going to burn a timeout.
Actually, that's going to be a delay of game. They're going to lose 5 yards. They waited a little too long. Now it's 3rd and 6.
Excellent discipline by that front 4 of the Raider defense. Irish were trying to pick up a cheap first down there with a hard count. Raiders able to hold their composure there, didn't go for it. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Irish trying just a little too hard to get the Raiders to jump. They wound up burning themselves by that. And another kind of mental mistake by that Irish offense.
Watch these 2 receivers to the right here. A lot of cushion on this 3rd and 6.
And this handoff is to Harper around the corner. Harper's going to break it for the first down. And he's going to get down, looks like around the 35, 36-yard line. 1st and 10, Akron.
Irish had the perfect play called there. Had a couple blitzing linebackers unable to come up with the tackle as soon as he hit the corner. Talked about the cushion that was given to the receivers on this near side here. Looks like we've got a player down for the Irish.
It looks like that might be one of their linemen.
If you're watching the replay, you don't see the corners in the screen here. That was going to give the running back a lot of room as he got to the outside after he broke that edge, able to get upfield for a nice gain and a 1st down.
Injury timeout on the field. We have a Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's player down. 48 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. It is a 14-12 football game at the moment in favor of Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. St. Vincent St. Mary's scores coming on a pair of 20-yard touchdown scampers by Santino Harper, both in the first half. Harding scoring first off by way of Nizier Coleman scooping up a fumble early on. I think it was the Irish second offensive play of the game. Take an early 6-0 lead, and then a Dallas jet around the end run to the corner of the end zone to make it 14-12. Harding failing to convert on each of those extra point conversions. Therefore, we have the 2-point difference in the game.
Yeah, the special teams have come back to bite the Raiders a couple times here this year, and you're seeing it here down by 2 points, forcing them to go for 2 and instead of being able to kick that traditional, extra point.
Play resuming. It is 1st and 10. St. Vincent St. Mary's at the Raider 36-yard line. And there's the give once again to Santino Harper, and Harper manages to get a yard before he's dragged down. They're going to give him 2 inside the 35, makes it a 2nd down and 8.
Manuel Washington on the tackle there. able to corral him, get around those legs, get him low, bring him down. But you got to wrap. He's a bowling ball. You're not going to be able to just hit him. You're going to have to wrap to bring him down. Excellent play there by Washington to hold him to 2 yards. You're going to bring up a 2nd and 8.
Clock winding down towards the end of the third quarter. One, maybe 2 more plays in this quarter.
Watch for it.
And that handoff is to Kelker. Kelker was the man in motion. Kelker trying to get around that end. Kelker finds a hole. Kelker inside the 20, and it'll be 1st and 10. Irish just inside the Raider 20, and that brings us to the end of the third quarter with the Irish on top, 14-12.
Well, the Raiders did what they needed to do that quarter, Tom. They were able to come out, put some points on the board. 2-point conversion away from tying this ball game up. The Irish are on the move right now, primarily on the ground, just establishing that line of scrimmage, using that speed to the outside to be able to get upfield. Not a bad job that time by setting the edge, but Kelker was just able to tiptoe his way through there, find an opening, and kind of scamper upfield for a decent gain. Going to give the Irish a 1st down to start out the 4th quarter.
So we're going to start the 4th quarter, and the Irish are threatening. They are knocking on the door at the Raider 20-yard line. Sitting on a 2-point lead, trying to make it a little bit more. The Raiders have been hanging close the entire ball game, and the defense desperately needs to stop right here on this drive.
Yeah, this is one of those bend but don't break situations. Even if you can hold them to 3 here, you want to keep them out of the end zone.
Touchdown extra point would make it a 2-possession ball game. Raiders trying to avoid that, keep it at a 1-score game with the 4th quarter to go. And again, it's Gabe Mansell, the Irish quarterback, and Santino Harper, the workhorse for the Irish. He sets up to the left, and that's Harper up the middle. And Harper bulls his way down to the 15. That's going to make it 2nd down and 5.
Another strong run by Harper there up the middle. Another chunk of 5 yards. Going to make it a 2nd and roughly about 4. Looks like they're giving him 6 yards on that carry.
Number 72, Elijah Martin. Good to see him back in the ball game. He was the injured Irish player who was helped off the field a couple plays ago. He's back in at his offensive tackle position. And there's Harper again. Harper's going to pull through, and it is Santino Harper with his 3rd touchdown of the game for Akron, and that will make it a 20-12 football game.
Yeah, Santino Harper right up the middle, real difficult with his low. Look, as you watch this run, listed at 5'9", low center of gravity. Once he gets those legs turning in the open field, just real difficult to bring down. You see the size of his thighs, obviously putting in the work in the weight room, and it's showing off here tonight with his 3 touchdowns.
Bertolini in to attempt the extra point. This would make it a 9-point game and a 2-possession score at the moment. And a high straight kick splits the uprights, and that makes the score Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's 21, the Harding Raiders 12. And the Raiders now have their work cut out for them with 11:19 to go in the ball game.
Yeah, you're gonna have to move the ball, and you're gonna have to move it in a hurry. With the Irish able to really control that ground game. Once they get the ball back, they're gonna burn some clock. They're going to slow down their offense. They're going to turn around, hand it to number 5, and just let him work that clock for this last 11:19. Raiders are going to have to do something quick here. Look for some big plays. Look for them to take some chances downfield. Try to back those safeties up, back those linebackers up. Give them a little bit of room to operate underneath so they can start to move the ball downfield.
Javante Jones and Raylan Weaver, they are the deep backs for Harding. They'll set up on their 5-yard line. Bertolini has not yet kicked to the deep backs. Every time he's kicked off, he has squibbed it up the middle.
You can see the Raiders are ready for that. You know, there are up men there, the 4 that are up there. Those are return guys. These guys got some speed. Irish got to be careful. They make one guy miss, they could be off to the races.
We saw that in the last one. Devin Boss almost broke the last one. And again, it's a low line drive kick that is picked up at the 25-yard line. I think that was Eris Coleman Bay over there on the far side who scooped that up, got the ball out to about the 34-yard line. That's where they'll spot it, at the 34.
I think the Raider offense saw a lot of success getting Dallas Jet out onto the corners, pressuring that line of scrimmage, make that defense make some decisions, make them commit, and let them find the open receivers in the soft territories of that zone to get the ball upfield.
1st and 10 Raiders at their own 34-yard line. They are on the short end right now of a 21-12 score as Dallas Jet brings his offense back out onto the field. And Jet with a quick pass out to the left. That will pick up a few, maybe 4 yards.
Yeah, keep mixing it up. Understand the clock is going to become an issue. Got to have a sense of urgency here with a little under 11 minutes left here in the 4th quarter.
Second down and 7 at the Raider 37-yard line. 3 receivers come down here to the end. That looks like Coleman, Boss, and Jones. Dallas Jet tries to keep that one. He's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd down and long for the Raiders as Ryan Powell checks back into the lineup.
Irish have been strong up the middle all night, whether it's a traditional handoff or Dallas Jet trying to break something up the middle. Irish have been strong all night up the middle. A lot of the success for the Raider offense has come from those outside corners and those finding that soft middle on some of those rollout passes.
3rd down and 7 for the Raiders. In big need of a 1st down right here with 10 minutes left to go in the game. And Jet loses a handle on the ball. Manages to cover, but that brings up a 4th down and 11 for the Raiders.
Yeah, it looks like he was trying to scout out the defense around the right end before he took control of the ball there. Ends up putting it on the ground, luckily to get it back. Going to bring in 12, Jake Doherty for a punt attempt here. Could be a lot worse. Could have had the Irish in great field position.
Carter Jones, the deep man for the Irish, and he's had the opportunity to return a few. These have been returnable kicks. They've been kind of low line drives. This is a nice high spiral kick from Jake. That drives Jones back. Jones loses a handle on it. He gets it out to about the 34-yard line, and then he's brought down.
Yeah, a nice high towering kick by Jake Doherty there, sent the return man back. Might have lost it up in the lights there. Unfortunately, didn't have a Raider there to jump on that fumble.
Irish take over 1st and 10. Ball to throw.
1st and 10, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. They're going to set up on their own 34-yard line. We have 9:10 remaining in the ball game.
Well, a 2-possession game, 9 minutes left. I think you're going to see a strong dose of Santino Harper here to try to run this clock down.
And it is Harper. Harper on that right end. Harper breaks the tackle, gets down close to a 1st down. Picks up close to 10 yards on that first carry. Looks like they're going to give him 9. It's going to be 2nd down and 1.
See the Irish taking their time, letting that clock work in their favor. Harding does have 3 timeouts. A little too early, obviously, to start calling them, but that clock is the enemy of the Raiders right now.
Harper, the deep man in that I formation. Caden Spry, the fullback, set up in front of him. And that's exactly who Harper's going to follow, but this time he gets to the line. He might have got just enough for the first down out to the 45. It looks like that's where they're going to spot it. And it's 1st and 10 Irish at their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, that's going to give them a fresh set of downs here. Talked about it in the first half. 43, they love running behind him. Follow him and you'll follow the ball. Easy for me to say up here in the booth. A lot harder to defend it down there on the field.
Yeah, Caden Spry, a 5'10", 200-pound fullback, leading the way for Santino Harper, 5'9", 195. Both of those players are a challenge to do anything with. And they give us again to Santino Harper. Harper gets to the line of scrimmage, bulls his way ahead for 5 more, out to the 50 where it's 2nd down and 5.
And you saw they pulled 43, lined up on the left, kind of ran him back on a counter there as a lead block for Harper, able to pick up good yards there. But you talk about, both those players there, listed 5'9", their stature says nothing about how they play. We talk all the time about how the game's kind of changed a little bit. These two here, I think the guys like, back from the 80s would be proud to see the hard-nosed play that they're seeing out of these two running backs coming out of St. Vincent St. Mary's.
Santino Harper once and Harper breaks it. Harper's going to break this from 50 yards out. Actually, that was DeAnthony Kelker. So used to saying Santino Harper. That was DeAnthony Kelker who got up the middle and through the defense. 50 yards and a touchdown for the Irish. And that will make it 27-12. And that just might be the final nail in the coffin here tonight.
Kelker, one cut and go, as my coaches used to tell us. One cut and go in the backfield there, able to just take off to the sprint to the end zone. That's going to make it a 27-12 game pending the extra point.
And a muffed snap. That ball's live across the line of scrimmage, so it's not live. If that ball had been knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, the Raiders would have been able to maybe return that for a couple, but that got past the line of scrimmage, so the extra point fails, and it is 27-12, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's. And that's going to send just about everybody except the parents heading for the exits now.
Yeah, the Irish were able, especially in the going into the second quarter, obviously here in the second half, established that line of scrimmage specifically with Harper running the ball, just wearing down the Raider defense, culminating in the big run you saw from, who was that, Conklin? With that last, Kelker, with that last touchdown there, but just the repetitive, just the line taking over. 43, a big part of that, springing those running backs out of the backfield.
Back deep to receive the kickoff for the Raiders, number 20, Raylan Adams, and number 5, Javante Jones. Kicking off again for the Irish, number 35, Nick Bartolini.
Now the Irish have built a big lead. Perhaps they will challenge these deep backs. They've squibbed everything up to one side or the other all night long.
Well, if they're Cleveland Browns fans, they know the game's never over until it's over.
And this time he does send it back. This is going to be Javante Jones at about the 11. Jones around the end. Jones trying to break it up the sideline. A nice return for Javante Jones. Gets it out to the 40.
Nice return by Jones there, trying to get the corner. Going to give the Raiders great field position here. Only a little under 7 minutes left. It's going to be a challenge. Got to use the sidelines. Got to take the advantages of that clock stopping on first down. Got 3 timeouts in your pocket. It's an uphill battle for the Raiders right now, but nothing's impossible.
Ryan Powell will set up to Dallas Jets left in that Raider backfield. That's Devin Boss in motion. Jet looking for Eris Coleman Bay over the middle, and he can't come up with that one. Takes a hard shot at the end of that play. Ball falls incomplete, and it is 2nd down and 10. Harding at their own 41.
Yeah, thrown a little bit behind his intended receiver there. Maybe the best thing for Eris Coleman Bay. That safety was coming up hard. Probably the fact that he had to turn back for it saved him a major collision there.
Jet looking for Najee Jones. He gets Jones. Jones is going to get out close to a 1st down. He does not get out of bounds. And there's a little extracurricular activity going on down there, so a flag is thrown. That looks like a personal foul against the Irish. That's going to give the Raiders 15 more yards.
Yeah, I really don't want to see that. You had a pretty good game played all night. You know, at the end here, it gets a little chippy. You know, guys start talking back and forth. You know, everybody, egos are being touched here. Just want to see this. You know, they've all played a great game tonight. Let's keep it on the field. Let's finish the game the way we started it.
That takes the ball down to the Irish 34-yard line, where it's 1st and 10. Clock is running. It's 6:30 to play in the ball game. Jet again looking down this near sideline for Najee Jones. Jones looked like he might have had a half a step on the defender, but that ball is just a little bit overthrown, and the Raiders are going to have a 2nd down and 10 at the Irish 34.
Irish all night have been comfortable with leaving their corners with one-on-one coverage. As you saw there, corner was able to stay with them. Receiver had a step on him just right outside of the outstretched arms.
Again, looking to this sideline, he finds Chance Coleman. Coleman down at a 25. That's close to a Raider 1st down. He does not get out of bounds. Clock continues to run. It's going to make it 2nd down and 1, so the clock is not going to stop yet. The chains aren't moving, but the clock is. We are at 6 minutes to play.
Got an extra guy in the field. That should be a procedure penalty. Referee.
That pass is complete to Devin Boss, and he's tripped up just outside the 15-yard line.
We'll take the 1st down. Hard to believe the sideline official there did not throw the flag for too many men on the field for the Irish.
Has anybody come off yet? It is 1st and 10 at the 16. Jet makes a completion over there inside the 10. 2nd down and about 3. Clock continues to run. He was not out of bounds.
Got to get up to the line. That clock is ticking.
Jacob Lawrence on that last reception.
He's got him across the middle.
In the end zone again. Looking for Devin Boss, and just a little bit high and behind him. That ball falls incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 4 at the Irish 9-yard line.
I couldn't catch the number, but it looked like the receiver to the high side there, running that drag across the field, had a couple steps.
Third down and 4. There's 5:17 to play. The Raiders are down 27-12. They are at the Irish 9-yard line trying to put a score on the board.
Look at the high side matchup, one-on-one.
And Jet's going to keep this one. He's going to get tripped up and just fall back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 4th down and 4, and the clock continues to run.
Talked about it all night. The Irish defense so strong up the middle.
Loss of 1 on the play brings up 4th down and 5.
Jet loses a yard on that one. 4th and 5. And the Raiders are going to use their first timeout of the second half. Talk about this 4th down play and try and keep possession of the football.
Yeah, I hate to burn that timeout, obviously, the situation that you're in, but you got to score the first one before the first score before you can score the 27th point. So got to get this one if you want to do anything moving forward. Good timeout. Get him over here. Don't really want the 5 yards. Want to see him stick it in the end zone on this. Possibly recover that onside kick and get the offense back on the field. We've seen it done before. Unfortunately, I was witness to that. Cleveland Stadium a couple weeks ago. I remember sitting next to a guy. I said, you know what, the game's over. Look at the fans. They're all leaving. And I thought, all right, so they got to recover an onside kick, probably, and then he did. And I said, they got to score. First play, 60-yard touchdown. And I looked at the guy and said, listen, that's not Tom Brady over there. That's the New York Jets. And I walked out of the stadium with my head down. So bigger things have happened in football here in Ohio, and we'll play this one out into the final whistle.
Raiders make their way back onto the field. This is a big 4th down and 5. This very well could be the ball game on this play right here if they don't convert this 5 yards. Ryan Powell sets up to Dallas Jets right. He's got 3 receivers over here to the right. Jet looking over the middle and overthrows Devin Boss. Ball is going to go to the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Irish.
Yeah, errant pass there. A lot of pressure coming up the middle. Dallas Jet unable to be able to step into that throw. I think that's why it sailed high on him. That's going to turn the ball over to the Irish and probably close the book on tonight's game.
And that's Devin Boss getting up slow over there. He stretched out for that. I'm not sure if he was hit or if he just landed hard, because he really went up after that ball to try and haul it in. But he's coming off the field under his own power, which is always a good sign.
Probably the best thing that I've seen out of this team all year is that lack of quit. I mean, we've really seen, obviously it's been a disappointing year thus far. One win in the column, but the character that the team has shown, the character that the players have shown. You get in these situations, you start to hear the yapping, and you start to, the emotions start to take over. But I haven't seen 1 ounce of quit, whether it be on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball. And that's going to bode well for them on these upcoming years. We talk about the young team that's out there, specifically in that secondary. We talk about guys like Drew McCown that are going to come up next year to play quarterback in what we've seen from him thus far. A lot of opportunity for the Raiders here in the coming years.
And that looks like Santino Harper once again gets a few yards, make it 3, brings up a 2nd down and 7. Maybe not necessarily looking to break anything long, but just get the clock running and get out of here and on that bus back to Akron.
Unfortunately, we don't have the stats here. I mean, obviously Harper's well over 100 yards tonight. Just an amazing game by the running back. I'm sure, give a lot of credit to that offensive line. And 43, I'm at a loss for his name, Caden Spry, really helping spring a lot of those runs. Able to overcome 3 turnovers in the first half of just bad ball exchanges between the quarterback and running back. Unfortunately, the Raiders were only able to capitalize on that scoop and score by 16-9 Coleman. But tons of opportunity there, and give the credit to that Irish team. They didn't lose their composure. They were able to stay in the game, keep the lead, and just keep on chipping away at it until their workhorse was able to break some big runs and break this game wide open for the Irish.
4:31 to play. Raiders coming off their 2nd timeout. Oh, there's some movement. Looks like the right guard got a little jumpy down there. That's going to push the Irish back 5 yards.
Looks like we got an equipment with 54, Emmanuel Washington.
Takes the ball back to the 14-yard line, make it 2nd down and 12. Sorry, make it the 9-yard line. Second down and 12 from the 9. And there's some movement once again, and that's another procedure penalty against the Irish.
Yeah, not sure. Maybe the Irish, with the score the way it is, have brought in some of their younger players, get them some time under the lights here.
Now we have 2nd and 17 as the Irish are backed up to their own 4-yard line. And there is Santino Harper. Harper breaks it up the middle, and Santino Harper is off to the races once again. And he is finally dragged down in Raider territory all the way up to about the 41-yard line.
All night, it's the yards after contact. I mean, I think that's probably the most impressive thing. You know, you see he breaks into that second level, makes one man miss there, but you'll watch 16, Drew McNown is on his legs. He just powers through it. Just an amazing performance by Santino Harper here tonight at Mollenkoff Stadium.
Harper's got to be approaching 200 yards on the night with that last carry.
Yeah, overall, just an amazing game by the young man.
Harper takes a breather, and that looks like DeAnthony Kelker in that tailback position, and Kelker has shown the ability to put the Jets on himself when given the opportunity. It is 1st and 10 Irish at the Raider 41-yard line, and that is Kelker, and Kelker's through the line. Kelker with about 8 yards makes it 2nd down and 2, under 3:30 to play.
Yeah, another small-statured running back, 5'9", 165. Obviously, he's got the Jets.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd down and 3.
Call that 2nd down and 3 at the Raider 34-yard line. Kelker remains in the game at that tailback spot. And it's going to be DeAnthony Kelker once again. This time he's dragged down in the backfield.
Number 2,
Loss of about a yard, make it 3rd down and 4.
By number 58,
Alexander, I think, came from that high left end position there, able to knife through for a nice tackle for a loss.
3rd down and 4.
2:30 to play in the ball game.
Irish taking their time. Wide receivers not in the huddle. They got nothing to do with the game at this point.
Irish are simply in the process of running the clock out. And that's DeAnthony Kelker once more. Kelker's going to break it through, get about 5. That's enough for another Irish 1st down. Chains move once again, just over 2 minutes to play.
DeAnthony Kelker, the ball carrier. Brought down by number 54, Manny Washington. Gain of 5.
That's a 1st and 10 at the Raider 30-yard line.
Harding, 30-yard line.
See the Raiders starting to make some substitutions here.
Santino Harper back in the ball game. And the handoff is to Santino Harper. He's going to put his head down, get in that line of scrimmage, gained about 3 more yards. And I think we're about to see the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary victory formation.
Yeah, Raiders have timeouts, but at this point, multiple score game. I think everybody's willing to just, take a knee. Irish will celebrate their victory. Raiders will go, back to the drawing board, back to practice, back to working, looking forward to next week. Get off the field, no injuries, and keep the season moving forward. There's no moral victories here. but you got to continue to work with these kids. I mean, I see a lot of heart, a lot of dedication, no quit in this team. Through all the adversity they've been through these first 6 games, I've seen no quit out of a single player down there.
And to give us to Harper, it gets it up to the 22-yard line. There's a Raider down on the field on that play. That'll stop the clock with 30 seconds left.
Looked like that was 5, Javonte Jones.
Kind of wish they just kind of take a knee. There's no point in playing hard and full go at this point, maybe risk an injury when the game well in hand.
Yeah, you know, you're at your midway point of the season here, a little over midway point of the season. Obviously, some of these teams are already starting to think about the playoffs, you know, keeping their players fresh. You know, the injury bug, you can go from being a number 1 seed to a number 8 seed, you know, with an injury. And so, you know, as you said, at this point of the game, you got 30 seconds left. Yeah, the Raiders have a timeout. I don't think they're going to use that timeout. Expect to see a victory formation here. Irish should walk out of Mollenkopf with the win, head back to Akron.
27-12, Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's in control of the Warren Harding Raiders. Homecoming night at Mollenkopf Stadium, not the homecoming that the Harding faithful were hoping for. Raiders will be on the road next week, and then they're home for their final home game in 2 weeks on October 7th.
Yeah, it's nice to be back. You know, all the time that we spent, you know, with COVID, you know, it was nice. And, you know, as always, we want to give a shout out to everybody with WSCN. We thank, you know, everybody who's tuning in. This is an amazing broadcast brought to you by people like Fred Whitaker and Frank Bosick and all of the students that participate at WSCN, that allow people like myself and my partner here, Tom Bird, to come up here and be able to talk about football. We couldn't ask for a better broadcast. I'd put this up against anybody out there. This is all done through the school. Just an amazing job that these individuals do on a weekly basis to be able to bring this game to you live from Mollenkopf Stadium.
I don't have a whole lot to add to that, except that I'll second every word of it. Still tending to Javonte Jones out there, injured Raider player on that last play. Hopefully see him up on his feet and headed back to the sideline soon.
Yeah, from the reaction, it looked like it was an upper body injury, possibly maybe even an elbow or a shoulder.
And it looks like he is up and on his way out now.
Yeah, they're holding that right arm.
It's
might have been a dislocation. You see, it looks like they've already got that compression device on his lower arm up to his elbow. It looks like they're burning the clock now.
Well, the clock's running. I think that's going to take us down to the end of the ball game. Akron is not going to have to run another snap. 7 seconds, 6-5, and that's going to be your final score from Mollenkopf tonight. The Raiders fall to the Akron St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish 27-12. And unfortunately, that's going to drop the Raiders to 1-5 on the season. St. Vincent St. Mary's will improve to 5-1 as they head back to Akron.
Yeah, there's never anything good about a loss. You know, Raiders obviously, you know, not off to the start that they looked for at the beginning of the year. Talk about a lot of the youth on this team. You know, you got a lot of sophomores playing out there. Tonight, I think there was about 9 or 10 freshmen that got to come out here to Mollenkopf Stadium under the lights and kind of see the speed of the game. Full disclosure, my son's a freshman. I went to a couple of the practices, and I was down at the right end of the field watching the freshmen. I walked down to the far left end of the field and watched the varsity going, and the difference in the speed of the game. That is the biggest component that these young players need to see up close and personal at field level if you want to prepare them, you know, to be intricate parts of this team. Nice gesture here,
Yeah,
if you can see it.
yes.
The St. Vincent St. Mary Irish coming over here to Javante Jones, you know, tapping him on the helmet. Great sportsmanship shown by Akron. Want to wish them the best of luck for the rest of the year, and I'll look to see how this Santonio Harper. Pleasure to watch him run tonight. Just an amazing game by the young man. Kept his just hard-nosed football. Kept his legs churning. Great game by him, but really nice to see the Akron players come over to Jones at the end of the game and tap him on the helmet and wish him the best.
Terrell Hobson the third, Connor Jones coming over this way. And really just about that entire Akron Vincent St. Mary's roster has come over to this sideline to give a shout out to Javante Jones, make sure he's all right.
Yeah, you got to assume that was probably a pretty ugly injury. I saw his reaction, and then when you saw that they already had that kind of splinted in what I believe is a compression type of cast to kind of try to mitigate further injury. There's Santino Harper coming over. Always, you never want to see anyone get hurt. We're out here. They're still student athletes. You never want to see an injury, and so real nice touch to see Akron come over there and check on an opposing player.
So that's going to about do it for us from Mollenkopf. So unfortunately, homecoming again, not quite as the Raider faithful had hoped. The students will be out here on the field again tomorrow night for their homecoming dance and celebration, so hopefully they'll have a good time. I think the weather, while it will be cool, it will be dry for them. So all the best to the Harding students on their homecoming celebration. Stay safe and hope to see you all on Monday morning. And as for the rest of the Raider faithful, again, Raiders on the road next week. We'll be home in 2 weeks for our home finale before the Raiders finish the season on the road against Cheney and Fitch. So the 2022 season rolling along at a pretty fast clip. And Eddie, you and I are about ready to get out of here and take care of the rest of the weekend.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to be up here. Always a pleasure to stand next to you, Tom. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
That's it for us. Have a great weekend, Warren, and all else listening near and far. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.
Good night, everybody.